Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. We are finally filming part 2 of my visiting Chicago bookstores and I am so excited. One of the bookstores on the list for today is one that I have been wanting to go to since I heard it opened, and I haven't had an opportunity to go, and I'm so excited that I'm finally going to be able to go. But I'm so excited to visit some new bookstores and support local independent bookstores in Chicago. And as I've said before, Chicago has so many of them. So we're going to be visiting 2 areas today in Chicago. Both of them are kind of close to each other, so I do think that you should be able to hit these bookstores even though they're in 2 kind of separate areas. They are relatively close enough where I do think you could hit both areas and with no problem. But we're going to be visiting the Roscoe Village area, and then we're also going to be visiting the Lakeview area. Both of them have 2 stores that we're going to be visiting in each, so if you find that you can't do both, at least you'll have 2 options in Roscoe and then 2 options in Lakeview. Both of those areas are really cool. They have a lot of restaurants and a lot of stores, especially Southport. If you haven't been on Southport Street, so many stores, so many restaurants, and it's just a great street to just walk up and down and do some shopping and stuff. So I think this will be fun, and I'm so excited to check out these bookstores. If you guys are as excited as I am, let's go book shopping. Hey guys, we are back from book shopping. I had such a great time. It was so fun to get to visit these 4 different bookstores, and I honestly loved each of them. They all were super unique in their own way, and they were just so much fun. We ended up going to 4 bookstores, and the first one that we actually went to was Roscoe Books. This one was so cute. They have a book club. They had such a little cozy little vibe going on. It was a smaller bookstore. It wasn't like super big, but I feel like they just had everything. If you were looking for a specific genre, I feel like they had it. I don't think that they had a lot in terms of, or at least I didn't see it while I was in there, but I don't think they had a lot in terms of like comic books or like manga or like books like that. But they definitely had a wide variety of genres, and I did see some new books there and stuff like that. And I did buy books while I went to the bookstores, which was fun. I picked up Razor Blade Tears by S.A. Crosby. I've heard a lot of great things about this one, and I cannot wait to get to this one. But this is the book I ended up picking up. Like I said, they had a really big selection of books. I feel like they had cookbooks, they had religious books, they had, sci-fi, fantasy, fiction, nonfiction, romance, thriller, horror. I feel like they had a really good selection of books, so that was really great. And it was conveniently located. I thought it was really cute. On the outside on their window, they actually had like a sign that they have like a monthly book club, which I thought was really cute. I do know that there are some bookstores that actually do have book clubs, so that was really great. They also have like 10% discounts for teachers, which I thought was really great. They also have like a membership perks. Well, not really a membership, but like they have like a reward system, so whenever you spend like X amount of dollars, you get like $10 to use and stuff like that. So that was also really great. Overall, I just really liked this one. It was super cozy, super cute. Like I said, it was a little bit smaller, but I feel like they did have a really good variety of books there, which was really great, and I loved it. That was really cute. The second bookstore that we went to was called The Last Chapter, and this one was so much fun. The vibes are really great. They had cute merch with, like, there was a sweater I saw that said The Last Chapter bookstore on it, and I wanted to get it, but I didn't. I should have, but it was super cute. They have like candles and like stickers and all the stuff that you see at typical bookstores. They were just so cute. They had like these two areas where you could take pictures and stuff, which was a lot of fun, and it's definitely a bookstore worth taking advantage of if you're with like your girlfriends or something like that, or just any friends in general, and you want to take pictures, and they're just like so cute. And yeah, it's like a romance specific store, so you're not going to find any other genres there aside from like fantasy, like romantasy. They have that there. But you're not going to find like thrillers or fiction or anything like that. It's very strictly romance. So if you're not a romance reader, that store is probably not for you. But yeah, I also got a book there, and the book I ended up picking up was Beautiful Exile, and I picked up this one mainly because I was looking at it and my boyfriend was like, you need to get it, simply because when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, it's a paperback that has like a cover. And I was like, that's so crazy. I've never seen that before. And when you take off the cover, it actually has this really cool like picture inside of it. And I thought that was so fun. So I ended up getting it. Of course, you can take it off, and the book still does have like its own cover, which is great. I have no idea what this book is about. Like none. I simply bought it because of this. And because my boyfriend was like, you need to get it now. So I did. So I couldn't tell you absolutely anything about this book. It also came with like this little, I think it's the author's like signature, but it was just like inside the book, which I thought was funny. But yeah, it's also got sprayed edges. Like the book was just so pretty. So I was like, yeah, I have to get it. But I don't know what this book is about, but it's a romance. So there's that. But yeah, this bookstore, like I said, super cute. Definitely a photo op moment kind of like store. Overall, super cute. And those are the two bookstores that we visited in Roscoe Village. They're very close to each other, just like I think a block or two down. So you could definitely just like pick up lunch, check out these two bookstores. There's a couple coffee shops around there too that you could check out. And the area is super cute. So definitely worth checking out those two bookstores. But then we made our way to Lakeview, where we went to two other stores. The first one that we went to was called 3 Avenues Bookshop, which I think was my favorite out of all of the bookstores that we went to. This one was just so cozy. Even my boyfriend was like, no, this is a really nice bookstore. They had like these open window concepts where you were just getting natural light. The sun was beaming, like the vibes were vibing. I absolutely love this bookstore. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did, and I loved it. So this one I'd highly recommend. It was so cozy, and they had a really big selection of like everything. So I did also pick up some books while I was there, and I ended up picking up two because I've been looking for this book specifically and I haven't been able to find it, and they had it. The Favorites by Lane Fargo. I have heard a lot of great things about this one, and I had recently just read a book by Lane Fargo called They Never Learn, and I really liked it. That one was like female rage, and it was just great, and I honestly can't wait to read this one. I hear it is a little bit of change of pace though. It's not like a thriller or anything. I'm not so sure it's a romance either, but I've heard a lot of great things about this one, so I had to pick it up. And then I also picked up Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes. I have heard that this book is actually really good. This one I think it's like a thriller horror. I could be wrong, but it's like a space theme, and I think that this is going to be really fun. And it also mentions like a ghost ship, and I don't know. I love spooky things. So give me everything spooky about this. I hope it's good. But those are the two books I picked up. Like I said, this one was my favorite one. They had like little sections for you to sit and just read if you wanted to. They also had merch that said like the store's name on it. They had these really cute mugs, but they were so big, and I'm not a really big mug person, so I didn't get one. But they had cute stickers. They had cute like stationery, lots of books, lots of options. Like pretty much every genre was there. Yeah, it was a really nice store, and I think, like I said, that one was probably my favorite. So definitely check out that one because that one was great, and that one is specifically located on Southport Street. And the last bookstore we went to was actually called Goblin Market Manga and Curiosities. I had to read that one off of Google because that name was kind of funny. But this store was so much fun. This one is strictly like they have a whole bunch of manga. They have a whole bunch of comic books. They had like plushies and stuff like that were so fun. And the store is honestly just a vibe. They had like tarot cards, and they had like all these like fun die that have like a whole bunch of like sides, and I think it's for people who like play like that Dungeons and Dragons game and stuff like that. They had so much fun stuff. Honestly, it was, if you don't even read manga or comic books, like I think it's just a fun store to check out because they had such cute knickknacks too. But overall, this store was really fun, and I actually did pick up a book from here. I didn't think I would, but I really wanted to support each of these bookstores, so I did pick up a book. And the one I actually picked up was Heartstoppers. I have not read this series. I do know there is a series on Netflix that's based off of the book series, and I've heard a lot of great things about that too, but I know a lot of people love this series, so I figured, you know what? How perfect an opportunity for me to, one, support a local bookstore, but also pick up a book that a lot of people rave about. So I picked up Heartstoppers. I know it's like a YA. I don't know. Is this fiction? It's like, I think it's a romance actually. So maybe it's a romance? I don't know. But I picked up this one. And what's super cute about that store is that they have these stickers that they put on books that have like LGBTQ like representation, and I thought that was so cute. So this is like a sticker I'm not going to take off because how cute is that? So I ended up picking up this book. But yeah, I thought that store was really cool, really fun. Just, I don't know, it's just a vibe. And I like, sometimes you just want to go to a bookstore that has good vibes. So these are all the books that I picked up. I'm really excited. I think this is a really fun collection, and I got to visit some new bookstores and honestly found a new favorite. I cannot wait to go back to 3 Avenue Bookstore because I absolutely loved it, and I could see myself just going there to just read because it was just such a fun vibe. So it was a lot of fun, and those are the bookstores I went to today. So I highly recommend all of these bookstores. They aren't too far from each other, so if you choose to just go to the ones in Roscoe or if you just choose to go to the ones in Lakeview, I think either of them are going to be great options. 3 Avenues Bookstore isn't too far of a walk from the manga store. I think it's just, the only difference is that one's on Lincoln Avenue, so it's not too far. I was able to walk it and stuff, so I think it was fun. I will say we did have a car, so we did drive from the Roscoe bookstores to the Lakeview area bookstores. So if you have a car, I definitely think that's going to help a lot too, but I do think you can visit both areas in the same day if you really wanted to, but if not, I think visiting either of these 2 areas will be great. But that's it for today's video. If you guys have been to any of these bookstores, let me know which one was your favorite. And if you guys have any bookstore recommendations for me to check out, let me know down below because I would love to visit as many independent bookstores as I can. But today was so much fun and I had a great time buying books. So that's it for today's video. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, I would love it if you would like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!